Hey, we just talked to Ryan Day, Steven Means, Nathan Baird, Doug Lesmerises. About a 40-minute news conference with Ryan Day to record a look back on the season, look ahead a little bit. And Justin Fields is a part of looking back and looking forward. What did you think of the discussion about Justin Fields' health and sort of the situation with his knee, Nathan?
So I don't know if it's anything of like grave long-term concern, but I thought it was telling that he was straight up asked, hey, was there any kind of procedure? And obviously they're not that forthcoming about injuries here at Ohio State, but he was straight up asked anything that had to be cleaned up after the year, and he decided not to answer that for, privacy reasons.
And if the answer was no, there wasn't.
Correct. He would have said, no, absolutely not. I believe. I don't think. Now, maybe he's trying to couch it and saying, like, well, if I answer no this time, then the next time, I don't know. But it leads me to believe that there probably was something that had to be addressed. And I think, his health is – his status on this team is obviously not in doubt. A year ago at this time, spring was big for him because he had to become kind of part of this team for the first time. Now I think the most important thing for him this spring is just to get through it healthy. They've got to give a lot of reps to those younger guys. So that's something I'm kind of watching this spring is what exactly does Justin Fields do? How involved is he? Ryan Day was talking about there were definitely practices he missed down the stretch, barely practiced all going to the Big Ten Championship game. He's a little bit more forthcoming about that status as a season unfolded in the final weeks. So it's something to monitor whether or not it's something that lingers or whether he can come out of the spring at 100% and ready to go into the fall.
Yeah, I don't care at all about going forward. I didn't get any vibe that this is going to have any effect going forward because, he's going to be ready for the season. Even if he misses a little bit of spring, it doesn't matter. But they were, more forthcoming about the backward stuff of, he didn't practice for the Big Ten championship game, when we came out and we're behind by 14 points at the half in a game that cost us the number one seed, which made us play Clemson, What do you think of the backward stuff?
I think this is the first time I think anybody's asked him straight up, if you had to do the Penn State game over again, would you leave Justin Fields out there? I think you asked that question. He said, yeah.
Think I asked that question. Who the frick else would ask that?
Listen, it was among...
And without prefacing it with Ryan, by the way, great job this year. Not to criticize, but just a little... Of course I asked it.
Among the 20 questions that were all great, by the way.
I'm in a mood.
It's okay. Oh, it's okay.
What else is new?
I think, the fact that he said no, I don't believe that. I think he would have done that differently and taken Justin Fields out of the game, or at least ran a different play.
I don't think so.
I believe him, which means I don't like the answer. I don't think he's trying. I think that's not a great answer. I don't think so they're up by 11 with barely 2 minutes, a little more than 2 minutes to play. Fourth down. He doesn't want to kick a field goal because he doesn't want to get it blocked and returned. They're too close to punt. And he calls a play for the quarterback that has no backup, who loves to extend plays and try to make things happen, who's only been a starter for one season, and puts it all in his hands, and he says he'd do it again. I do believe he'd do it again.
Yeah, also, are you ever really too close to punt? Just punt
From the 27. Yeah.
The old coffin corner. What happened to the coffin corner, Doug, Steven, everyone? What happened to the coffin corner?
I just think he maybe calls a different play. I don't know if he I just think that's what it is. I do believe he leaves him out there, but I don't believe that he's going to run a pass play in that situation, especially when you got a running back like J.K. Dobbins. I think he would have just given J.K. the ball.
I would give J.K. the ball, and we are in the throes of Ryan Day, aggressive play caller. And we saw how that bit him in the butt with the punt block attempt against Clemson, and I think that was another example of that, of believing in your guy to a too great extent. And so, it's one of those things. Listen, nobody, he's undefeated and he's infallible and whatever. Listen, you're allowed to criticize this guy. As I've said a million times in the podcast, Urban Meyer won 3 national championships. I criticized everything he did constantly. I think that was a mistake. I think if that's how he's going to play it, and I hate to take the quarterback out of the game discussion, I've said a million times, that was a mistake. He's talking about how much of an effect that knee injury had on Justin Fields and the rest of their season, and he's saying the play up 11 with barely 2 minutes left, he would do the same thing. That's just I do believe that's what he really thinks, and I think that's a mistake. So, people make mistakes.
Don't you think the real answer to that question will come the next time this scenario comes up?
Yeah, and I think he'll do the same thing, and he'll believe. You want to believe in your guys. You want to trust your players. You want people to be aggressive, but there's also, you can push that too far. and just living in the world. I'm telling you, when Freddie Kitchens did this kind of stuff, people ate him alive. We're allowed to criticize coaching decisions. I think, especially in retrospect, he was never really pushed on it. That's where Ohio State's season changed. When Justin Fields got hurt on a play where he shouldn't have gotten hurt, you're not going to lose that game. You're up 11 with 2 minutes and 20 seconds to play with the ball on Penn State's 27-yard line. You're not going to lose. But you got your quarterback hurt, and it cost you a shot at the national title. Nathan, Steven, and Doug, lots more coming at cleveland.com.